Welcome back everyone, my name is Abdullah Gori from Alpha Technology, and in this video we will talk about CSS Grid layout. In our previous video we have played a game called CSS Grid Garden, in which we have learned all the CSS Grid properties, and now we are going to create a layout using the CSS Grid layout. Now in this video I will design a complete layout of a website using the CSS Grid layout, so you can understand how actually you are going to use the CSS Grid properties in your layouts. Before we get into this video, I highly recommend you to watch the first video of this CSS Grid layout crash course, which is the previous video in which we have played a game, so you can understand all the properties with the help of the examples. I will drop the link of the video in the description section down below. I want to show you another thing, that on my channel 87% of viewers are not subscribing to my channel, and this thing is really hurting because I am putting a lot of effort in creating these educational videos for you, and you are not subscribing to our channel. This is really demotivates us to create more videos. So I request you to please subscribe to our channel. It will encourage us to make more good content for you. With that being said, let's get started. Now first of all, let's do a quick recap that what is CSS Grid layout. A CSS Grid layout is a two-dimensional layout in which you have the direction in row wise and column wise. Unlike the Flexbox layout in which we only have the direction in one dimensional, which either can be in row wise or in column wise. Now here in this video, we are going to create this layout using the CSS Grid layout. I will explain you how we can design this beautiful layout using our CSS Grid layout. So first of all, I will just do a recap of the CSS Grid layout properties, so you can just revise everything, and I highly recommend you again that do watch the previous video. So let's get started here. First of all, you have to create a file, HTML file, or you can say you have to create a HTML page. Now I have a file called grid.html, and this is the title CSS Grid layout, and here I will go and I will open up this grid.html file, and you can see for now we are not getting anything because we only have the title as CSS Grid layout. And now we are going to practice the basic properties of CSS Grid layout. First of all, you will create a container, so I will call it as grid container, and inside this grid container we'll have our grid item. So I will say grid item. I will add another class because this grid item is a general class, and to apply any specific styling we will have grid item 1, grid item 2, these sort of classes. I will copy the individual name of the class and paste inside the content so we can see which item is placed on which position. I will copy these lines of code. I will paste it 5 times. Let's rename it quickly. So this will be grid item 2, 3, 4 and 5. I will save this file now, and here I will go in the browser. Now you can see we don't have anything. If I refresh it, we only get the content that we have inside our classes, our division tags. I will come here, I will put a style tag because I'm going to use internal CSS to make it more simple for you. And here I will put padding 0 and margin 0 to remove the by default padding and margins. After that, I will go and put the grid item class here. I just want to show you that how they will look like without a grid layout. So here I will just put a background color blue violet. If I save them, if I refresh it, you can see this is looks like a simple layout that we have in normal CSS. Okay, because now till this point we are not applying the grid layout properties. And now I will target the grid container. I just want to give it a height, so I will say height is 100 VH, and I will give a background color which is tomato. Now we can see it is covering the whole height, and you can see this is what we have on our 5 rows, because these are the rows, these are not column. Now we are going to add the grid properties. First of all, to make anything grid layout, you have to say display grid. And keep in mind, you can only make a container grid, because we are not going to make the elements grid, because you should have some element inside your grid. So this grid container class have these 5 elements. So we make this grid container class as display grid. If I go back and refresh it, now I can see it will spread and cover all the area. Why it is covering all the area? Because we haven't provided the template for the grid. Now what is template? The grid template will specify how many rows you want and how many columns you want. Let's specify the number of columns that we want. Let's say we have 5 items, so I want 5 columns. So in total we have 100% width of our web page. So if you divide 100 by 5, it will be 20. So actually we need 20% width. So I will say grid template column, and here you can pass the width of all the columns. So you can say I want 20%, 20%, 20%, 20%, 20%, means we want 5 columns and all of them will be 20% width. If I refresh it, you can see they are become in one line. Okay. Now one row is covering the whole height. Now to change the height of the row, you can also say grid template rows, and here you can put 20%, 20% and 20%. Now the same thing goes for the rows. It means the 100% height will be divided in 5 sections. So if I refresh it, you can see this is only the 20% and these are the remaining 4 20% rows. Okay, so this is our first row and these are the 4 remaining rows. Now what I will do, I will add a gap. So the gap property is used to add a little bit gap in between, and you can say gap and then you can specify how many pixels of gap you want. So in this case we want 1 pixel gap. So if I refresh it, you can see we are getting 1 pixel gap. Okay, and here I will copy all these 5 elements. I will paste it 1 time, 2nd time, 3rd time, 4th and 5th. So if I refresh it, I think we have placed 1 extra, so I will remove this. Now we have 5 rows. So you can see we are getting 5 rows and 5 columns. Don't worry about this scrolling we are getting. It is only because we apply the gap. That's why we are getting the extra scrolling in row wise and column wise. Now let's talk about other properties of grid layout. Now here, the first thing that you understand that you can specify grid template columns. You can specify how your column will look like. Even you can also make, let's say first column will occupy 20% width, then 10, 10 and 10, and the last will occupy 50% of width. If I refresh it, you can see this is how it will look like. The same thing we can do with the rows. First 10, then 40, then 20, then again 10. So 10 plus 10, 20, 20 plus 20, 40, 40 plus 40, 80, 80 plus 20, 100. If I refresh it, now we are just rearranging the width and height, or we can say we are just rearranging the size of the rows and columns. Okay, now here you can see this is all that we are getting. So now I will go on the 3rd row, which is this one, and here I will add a ID, and ID will be fav. So this is, let's say, our favorite column, and in this row we only have 3 columns: item 1, item 2 and item 5. If I go back and show you the output, see, we are not getting anything correct. Now this time the layout is disturbed a little bit. Now how we are going to solve this problem? So here I will say I want to target our ID, which is fav. So I will say hash fav, and here I will apply a different background color so you can see what actually we are targeting. So this is the ID that we are targeting. Okay, now because of this item everything is messed up. See, grid item 2, and we should have here grid item 3 and 4 and then grid item 5, but now we have grid item 2 and grid item 5. So I want that this grid item 2 should span these two columns as well. For that, you can use the grid column start property. So your column will start from second vertical line. So this will be your first vertical line. This is your second vertical line. So you will say 2, and you have to specify the ending vertical line. So you will say grid column end 5. Why 5? See, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. If I refresh it, you can see the whole layout is now seems correct again. That's how you can modify any of the column or row. The same thing you can do in another way. You can use the span keyword also. So you can say span 3. If I refresh it, it will be the same output, because starting from 2 and spanning to 3 columns. So it is starting from 2, spanning to 3 items. Now to know more about this span and all these properties, I highly recommend you to watch the previous video in which we have played that game called CSS Grid Garden, which will help you to understand each and every property. Now that's how we can design the layouts. Now this is really basics. So now that's how we are going to get started with our CSS Grid layout. Now let's try to design this layout using the CSS Grid layout. What I will do first, I will just erase everything. Okay, now let's start designing this layout using the CSS Grid layout. So first of all, we only have these styles as star padding, star margin, 0 to avoid the default padding and margins, and we only have this class of grid container. Now inside this container we will have all the elements. The first thing that we have is our navbar. We have content area, sidebar, recent post and footer. So I will go there. First of all, I will create a class called navbar, and after this navbar class I will just add the dot navbar here, so we can understand which item has which class. I will create another class which is dot content, and here I will put dot content. After that, I will have a sidebar, so I will say sidebar, and the same name I will put here, sidebar. And after that, what we have 4 recent posts and then a footer. So I will go there, I will say dot recent post, and I will paste it here. I will copy it 4 times, and after that lastly we'll have the footer, and I will say dot footer. That's all for now in our HTML. Now everything we will do with the help of CSS Grid layout properties. The first thing that we have to do is to make our container as grid layout. So first of all, I will target the grid container. Here I will say grid container, and inside the grid container I want to apply the height first, so I can show you all the effects in real time. Let's go here. You can see we are only getting all the names that we have put in the content section of all the tags. After that, what I will do now, I will just add the display grid property to make it grid, and as soon as I make it display grid, you can see they all will spread. Now we have to define the rows and columns. Now let's understand how actually we are going to solve, or we are going to design these sort of layouts. First of all, you have to understand how your layout will look like. Now in the column wise, count the maximum columns that you will have. So in maximum we have 4 columns, 1, 2, 3, 4. So the grid template columns will have 4 columns. So I will say grid template columns, and here I will put 24.50%, and I will copy it 4 times. If I go back in the browser and show you the output, this is how it will look like. Now see why I'm saying to target only 4 columns, because it's a trick that if you want to design the layout in the CSS grid, always count the maximum columns that you have and then create the template according to those columns. Now after that, for the row, let's count the total number of rows that we can have. So we have one row here, second row, third row and fourth row. Now for the row, I will use something different. Here I will say grid template rows. Now see here, the height of navbar and footer seems equal. So let's say the height of navbar and the footer is 100 pixel. So we'll say 100 pixel. And the great thing about the grid layout is you can mix the different units of CSS. So first of all, instead of 100 pixel, I just make it 50 pixel. And after that, I want 2 FR and 1 FR and then 50 pixel again. Now what actually this FR means? FR is again a unit which is only works with CSS grid layout. Okay. Now what it will do, the first thing what we have is 50 pixel. So the navbar will occupy 50 pixel. Then last is 50 pixel. Footer will occupy 50 pixel. Then remaining space will be divided in 3 parts. So these are 3 parts. So half of the 3 part, or you can say 1/3 will be given to the recent post, and you can say the 2/3 will be given to the content area and the sidebar. That's how this will work. If I save it and go back in the browser and refresh it, this is how it will look like. Now let's go there. After that, I want to just style them. So here I will say dot navbar. So let's just put the colors first. So I will say background color, and the background color that I want to put is C70039. I will save it. I will go and refresh it. That's how it will look like. And then I will apply the color to the content. Then I will apply the background color, and the background color will be 6930C3. Save it, go back in the browser. Then we will go to the sidebar, and here we'll apply this background color. Let me just copy paste the background color property. Then we will go for the recent post, and we'll do the same thing, background color. The last thing is footer, so I will say dot footer, and the background color for the footer will be 126E82. So if I go back in the browser and show you the output, this is what we have for now. Now we are going to design them with the help of our CSS grid properties. Now we just need to specify how many span will a column will take. So first of all, let's come to the navbar. We learned that we can say grid column start, and we can start it from 1. We can say grid column and at 5, because in total we have 4 columns, so the last line will be the 5th line. So you can see we are getting the navbar on our first row. Another thing that I want to make sure is I just want to change the font color as white. I want to make the font weight as bold, so we can see them clearly. Okay, now after making this, here I will come down. I will copy these same 2 properties. Now let me show you another way of doing the same thing. Now here what we want, that our content area should start from the first column and it should end before the last column. So it means it should end on the 4th vertical line. So first vertical line, second, third and fourth. So here I will say grid column start first and the grid column end at 4th vertical line. So let's go and see the output. So that's how this will look like. Again, I will go in the grid container class. I will put a gap. So I will say gap 10 pixel, so we can see the gap. So now you can see everything seems great. Again, I will go in the VS Code And here for the sidebar, we don't need to do anything. And for the recent post, we don't need to do anything. And the last thing that we have to do is for the footer. Now we want to make our footer same as our navbar. For that, I just need to say these same property. But let me show you a shorthand way of doing the same thing. So you can also say grid column instead of grid column start and end, and you can specify the two arguments separated by a /. So we want to start it from first vertical line and end at fourth vertical line. If I go back and refresh it, you can see this is what we are getting. Let me go and make our gap as 5 pixels. So now this is how our layout will look like. Now that's how you can design this beautiful layout using the CSS Grid layout. I hope you have enjoyed this video. If you like this video, hit the like button. Make sure to subscribe our channel and press the bell icon so you can get notification whenever we upload any new video to our channel. Thank you so much for watching, and I will see you in the next video.